Alright, I'm back again with another arcade related video. I've been getting the itch lately to do something with some arcades. So the other day I made a video stating how I'm trying to fill this spot here with something. So I went ahead and I bought a dedicated Killer Instinct 1 cabinet from another YouTube user. It's just going to be an empty shell without a monitor. He had it set up as a Mame, and what I want to do is completely restore it, like I said, back to a full dedicated Killer Instinct 1 cabinet. Authentic PCB, completely redo the control panel. If there's any dings or dents, fix them all. I want to get it looking cherry mint, kind of like the MK3, where there's really nothing physically wrong or the appearance-wise anything wrong with it, minus a few minor scratches that you just can't do anything about, because obviously, I don't want to redo the entire side art. So that's what I'm going to do here. And the reason I have this all off and all kind of torn apart is two reasons. First off, I'm going to remove the monitor from this, because the monitor in this is absolutely crystal clear, crisp, perfect. This is the best monitor I've ever seen in any arcade machine, and I bought it off this guy on eBay, and he doesn't sell the 25-inch monitors anymore, and I've been begging him to find me another one, and I'll pay him whatever it costs to ship him, but that's another issue for another time. But this one, I want to put this in the Killer Instinct when I come, because two reasons: it doesn't have a monitor, and secondly, I want to remove this out, and I want to put an LCD flat screen in here. The reason I want to do that is I want to be able to use this MK cabinet for other purposes just besides Mame. Whenever you're running Mame, the arcade games play nicely, and they display perfectly, and all the contrast and the colors look great, and the refresh rates and all that stuff are all calculated perfectly, and everything runs great. But I've had problems where I turn it on and it hurts my eyes. It's so just kind of squiggly, and the screen is moving around, the resolution's all screwed up, and it's just fuzzy, and it gives me a headache when I look at it long enough. And what I want to do is I want to be able to play other emulators and other things on this machine, and I'm at the liberty of a low resolution monitor here. So I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to put I just bought, I think it's a 23-inch or a 25-inch LCD monitor. I can't think of the name of it, but I'll post it in the video, the link. I guess some guy on the KLOV website said they've had tournaments with this monitor, and it's been absolutely perfect. So, and it was like $130 or something delivered to the house, which is ridiculous. So even if it sucks and doesn't work, that's not really a lot of money to lose. So anyways, that's coming out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the LCD monitor in there so I can utilize it for other things. And then another YouTube user is going to build me a new computer. I bought the computer on eBay. I'm going to ship it to him. It's Mysterio Zone, and basically what he's going to do is, I've always wanted to put the Maximus MK theme as a front end on my computer. I really haven't had the time to do it. I tried to do it one time, and I got frustrated with it, and I don't want to do all that legwork myself. And I know that some guys have done that, and it just looks beautiful, and I like the way it looks, and it's cool. And I want to be able to utilize that in my cabinet. So, and the other reason is this computer I have in here, I bought this and did all this stuff myself, and it's got the Ultimark arcade VGA card in here, and I've had a lot of problems with that when I first set it up, and I just don't like it. I want to eliminate that out of the whole equation and just go from an LCD monitor to the computer and be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the computer like I said I did, ship it to him when it comes in, and he's going to load up all the games and everything on there, all the different emulators, along with the Maximus Arcade MK theme, and install it in here. And I don't know if I've ever gone through the actual panel that I built, but I'm just going to keep everything the same, because there's all the buttons. There's 7 buttons on each player in the joysticks, and then there's the player 1 and player 2 buttons on this when I built it. So I'm just going to keep this all the same, because I can basically utilize it and play all the games I want to play. Like, I'm thinking about putting a PlayStation or Xbox 360 in here, so I can maybe put MK9 in here. I've never played it before, just don't have the time, but I think it'd be cool, and if it was in a cabinet with these kind of controls, I bet you I would play it, and I think it'd be cool. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit about the inside of the cabinet. I've done a lot of videos about restoring them and all that stuff, but I don't think I've gotten in detail about a couple of different things. When you remove a monitor from here, there's a couple of things you want to look at. It's very simple to remove. There's really only 4 bolts you need to take out, but a lot of people, I think when they do it, they forget that there's connections in the back of the monitor, and I'll show you which ones there are. This right here is your red, green, blue, black, and sync connector. This is what comes off the PCB edge connector and plugs into your monitor, and this distinguishes the colors and everything, the images on your screen. This right here is your pot board, your remote pot board. As you can see, I wrapped it around like this. This usually feeds up to the front, and it's got all the little dials on it so you can change the contrast, the brightness, and all that stuff. This right here is your power cord, and this is a Molex connector, and this plugs in the back here and provides power. So if you ever need to remove your monitor, you need to unplug these things, otherwise you're going to rip it right out of there and rip all these connections and wires right out of there, and you're fucked. Because then you're going to have to go back, and you're going to have to solder things and find these connections, and all these pieces are getting harder to find because they were made in the the 70s and 80s, and a lot of people don't use this stuff anymore. So the way a monitor is in here, for those of you who don't know, is there's 4 bolts. There's 2 here and 2 here. And what those correspond to are these brackets in here, 1 and 2. And the bolts go through the cabinet like this, and they connect on the opposite side here, and they're thread on. But to remove the monitor, you only need to remove 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm right, I think they're 3/8 or 9/16. It's been a while since I've taken one out. You just take those off, and literally you grab it from here and you grab it from here, and you pull straight out. Some of them are a pain in the ass, so you might have to take a piece of wood or a 2x4 and kind of wedge it up and crack it out so you can get the little holder off these little pegs. And I'll tell you, they're very heavy. I'd probably say they're 50 pounds, 60 pounds, depending on the monitor, so you got to be careful. There's been a couple of times when I've almost pulled it out and dropped it on my foot. So you want to be real careful. You might have to have another person if you're short. I'm 6'2", so I can get my hands in here and nothing's in the way. I got really long arms. But that's pretty much it. I just want to kind of show you there's one other thing, and the reason I want to do the LCD monitor is it's a little bigger, and I want to make up some of the space in the sides and the top and bottom here, and you can do that very easily with a flat screen, because the old CRT monitors like this, it's curved, it's bowed, and if you look at the bezel that comes with it, you can see how it's curved. Those of you guys that don't have actual arcade cabinets and are playing on a computer and you're interested in getting one, just be aware of that. And these things are extremely hard to find. I don't know if even HAP makes them anymore. I looked a long time ago when I restored, I think it was an NBA Jam cabinet. I couldn't find one anywhere. I had to basically buy another cabinet just to rip that out of there. So that's my end game, or the goal of this whole project, is to make this into more of a utilization so I can play other games and utilize other emulators and possibly an Xbox or a PlayStation and hack the controller and be able to play newer games on this as well as the old games. And then in this space here, just have a Killer Instinct 1 completely factory restored back to its original condition with Killer Instinct 1, and I'm going to buy a Killer Instinct 2 board and drive and be able to switch in between the two. So that should be pretty cool. So I'll have one cabinet that'll have basically all the MK games in it, another dedicated Killer Instinct cabinet with all the KI games in it, and then the MK1 Mame / every other emulator that I could possibly throw in it along with these other games, with hopefully a fast enough computer with a lot of memory where I can just keep on adding things if I ever want to. So like I said, I've gotten the itch a little bit here, and I want to change it up in here. It's been a long time since I've gotten a new cabinet, and like I said, it's been hot here, and there's things I want to do in here, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to make a video. This new Killer Instinct cabinet should be here probably in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to make a couple of videos step by step. I'll go through it, show you guys how to do everything, how to restore it, where to buy the parts, because in the past I've gotten a lot of questions on just specifically the Killer Instinct cabinet. And then I'll go through here and I'll show how I mounted the new LCD monitor in here, where I got the bezel, how you install the bezel, and those sort of things, and the computer, and I'll just kind of go through those and show the MK theme that hopefully is installed there already, and I'll just turn it on. We'll go from there. So big changes in here. I'm excited about it. It's been a while, and stay tuned for the next one.